I'm pointing at them with my mouse. Do you see them?
Yes.
Okay, so if I click on it, I reveal the code, which is the one that we were talking before, and it's iframe, it says width and height, and these are pixels. So, you know, if, say, for example, I wanted to make this bigger, I could just place 1,000 here, and that would be a bit bigger. And the same for height, of course, you would want to keep a proportionate amount. And this code, this entire thing...
Back up just 1 minute.
Yes.
How do I know what's the proportionate code size?
You could multiply them both by 2, and that way you would know that.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
And what we're interested here, what I would do personally, I would just copy this whole thing and have it somewhere in my notes, in a Word document or whatever, so you always have it. Because the only thing that changes is this little thing here, the link that's between the brackets. You see, there's 2 brackets that begin and end.
Yes.
So these brackets should remain there, but the link can be whichever. So let's say you want to place your other link to your other website where you have this 3D tours. You would just delete this one and place the other one right in. Okay?
Okay.
And that...
You put the W. Show that again.
Yes, it's this one. So this is the link between the brackets, and you would just ideally just copy and paste it so you don't type things in manually, right?
Gotcha. So for each one of them, I can copy and paste the size I want, and then take that in the quote signs.
Exactly.
And just change those out.
Exactly, and then just save everything. Again, what we're looking at is a video widget, which is the one that we saw when we click on add new widget, and this video thing right here, this is the one we're looking for. You see an empty space appears when you can place this iframe code in.
Okay. Is there a way to save that somewhere for me? Is there a...
It's already here. It's already, for example, this one already has it, so you can copy paste this one.
Okay, gotcha.
This one also has the same one.
And where did you click? You clicked the arrow button, right? The little share button.
On the video itself.
You click the share button. Okay, the Metaport is the other thing that I need to. That's
these ones, right?
Yes.
So how we would do that, we would just take this link, just this one. I'm going to copy it, close this.
You put it up in the main bar?
Yeah, it's not even necessary. We could just copy it like this, you know, just by selecting it. We could just select it.
You selected it?
And then copy.
Yep.
We have copy here.
Yep.
Then we go out of this one, and then let's try and just see this one. We would edit this one.
Just take that
and
part.
Paste it. You see, it's now the link has changed. The brackets remain. The brackets are very important. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
Okay.
I'm going to copy this entire one and just go into add a new widget, add video. Paste it in here with our new link, save. Let's go down. And there we go. There we have this new video. You can, of course, resize the widget ourselves if you want. You can already resize it from here. So say, for example, you want to have 2 widgets, one next to the other. You would put them just, you know, by drag and dropping them.
I think it would look nice to have on one side have the like that 839 Aberdeen. You have the Metaport on the left, and on the right we have the video. Is there enough room to do that?
Well, this really depends how you want to do it, because you see, like we have it here. If I just scroll up, we have two elements next to each other. So
Yes, that's
it is
exactly
indeed
the way I want it to look. Only one would be the correspondent to the other. You know, say on the left hand side it would be 839 Aberdeen video, and on the right hand side it'd be 839 Aberdeen Metaport.
Okay, I see. So let's try and do this right here. I'm going to replicate this one just to have one to try. So they are both here now. This is the one.
So you just, and can you drag and drop?
Yeah. I'm going to make this a bit smaller, and I'm going to place this next to it. So, well,
Now how do you make that bigger?
you see there's little red bars that appear?
Yes, I see that. And did you just drag that and make it bigger?
Yes, exactly. Just use your mouse and drag it. Now I'm going to go to preview just to see how our change looks like. Well, it's, you have to play a little bit to make it nice, of course. They were overlapping a bit because this video is quite big, I think. That's why.
Well, you don't want it too small because you can't see what the floor plan really looks like.
Yeah.
And can you make that section bigger?
Maybe we could make the entire section a bit bigger. Maybe, this is really a game of just its design. Really, you have to make it, the way you want it, so that it looks nice. Perhaps you could maybe make these numbers a bit smaller or a bit bigger. And at the end of the day, if this arrangement doesn't work, you could try a different one. You could have them one, below each other. So.
By the way, I'm videotaping you with my cell phone, so.
Okay, so this is how we would do the iframe thing. Did you have anything else that you wanted to learn today how to do?
Did you stretch that out a little bit so I can get side by side? No, stretch the page.
Here's the thing, because these two videos are not the same size, so I'm not really sure they're gonna fit,
Okay, but I'm saying over on your left, where the red thing on the left, can you bring that out a little further and make that section bigger? Not that one. Over to your left. Over to your left. The whole page.
Oh, like this part here. This is empty space.
Yes,
for the
that
computer.
part.
No, in the Lodgify page builder, it's not possible, because you see you have the background here. This is your background, and this white square is the limits of where you would design things.
Okay, down there at the bottom, we have the list of, see down there underneath those things down at the bottom? Scroll down a little bit more, please.
Yes.
Those things go to nothing. The Beach Place 502, they're not clickable to anything. I don't know how they got there.
Yeah. Well, I'll show you where these things are. So this part of your web page is called the main navigation. And these elements are the elements that at the end will display at the very top. So these are these ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
These ones. And the same goes for the footer navigation. You see? The footer navigations are the elements that will display at the bottom of the page. Now, if these don't go anywhere because they're just empty pages, you could make them a link instead, because a page is of course just a page. But if we go and add a link, we could have this page stake somewhere. You see, we have the option to add a URL here.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. I just love your I love this whole site. I really, really do. You have so many opportunities here for the
Thank you.
for the owners. It's just it's a lot to learn, and
Yes.
I'm going to tell my people learn one thing at a time, and work with it. I mean, I've spent hours and hours and hours and hours with this, but I think once I learn it, I can teach others on a week. In a week, they can learn how to use the whole thing by just doing a conference call with 6 or 7 people, and it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun.
All right. So you see these videos, it's much better the way you suggested to make them indeed a square that's already clickable. Like you have these ones, and
Right.
really all of these ones, say for example this one, the next one, you can arrange them all to look like that, like this ones, just by using the iframe code that we saw here.
Okay. Is there a way to move them around to get them the way I want them from one
Yes,
frame to another?
You see when I cross with my mouse over a widget, this little crossed, how would I call it, arrows appear.
Yes.
And if I just drag it, I will drag the widget and I put it here, for example, or I put it, on this side.
Okay. Gotcha.
So that's how you would move it. And resizing, again, is with the 2 red bars on the side.
Okay.
Just drag it and
resize it. Sure. Okay. That's
perfect.
Okay, getting hooked up with Airbnb, that's my other thing.
Okay.
Is I guess just and booking.com, I've done everything that I know to do with booking.com. I think y'all have to contact them or something? Or have you already done it?
No. It's the way we do it is you have to provide us the information of your properties, so both in Booking and in Lodgify, and then we do the connection for you. However, this part it is essential that you do yourself, because you have to tell us information that we don't have access to. So that's the instructions that I sent you on Friday for filling in the Excel file, and. I hope it's not too confusing, but essentially what you have to do is you have to request Lodgify as your channel manager.
I have done that. I did that with somebody online. Could you check and see, because is there some way to see if I'm already hooked up with booking.com?
You would do that by going into menu and then clicking on channel manager, and then here booking.com, and I see that these are already connected. You see there's 4 of them that are already connected with booking.com. So reservations from these platforms will come right here.
Okay.
Like this one, for example. This one arrived from booking.com.
I think that one. Now, how do I know if he paid on that one? How do I know that?
Well, if this were a reservation in Lodgify, you would have a quote here appear, but of course this came from them, so you would have to check, details. Either here, you go into external quote and you click on view detail, and then you have, all the information that we're exporting for this particular booking. But the best the best thing would be to check your account where you're receiving the money. Because here I can see that at this and this time, 150 was the rate applied, but I